about 5 worlds, each with about 3 to 6. And we start out with our usual hero weapons, and we're going to be going through each level and unlocking the final boss and beating that boss as fast as we can. So when we start a new run of the Splatoon 2 single player, also known as hero mode, we start from a brand new file. So we had to create a new file, and right away we were thrown into the tutorial. So we had to play through this, then go through all the introductions to Inkopolis and the square and everything. Then we go straight into the single player campaign, and that's what we will be speedrunning through. There it is. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, sorry, you're not going to see the best commentary from me, so please don't expect, to have quality commentary. I'm not the best. I'm just going to admit that right now, so it's not used against me later. But I will do my best, to try to, inform you what this match is all about. I'm also going to try to interact with the chat if I can. If anyone has any questions, just leave them in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. So I should explain something that's actually really worth noting is both these runners actually have the exact same PB on the leaderboards. So I'm actually very excited for this match. I think it's really going to be a good one, since these guys' PBs are like basically the same on the leaderboards. And both of them are, I believe they're about 4th place. Yeah, tied 4th place on the leaderboards. So we should be expecting some very good gameplay from both runners. Very top tier. So I'm very excited to commentate this match. I think it's going to be a good one. So right here we just got the news showing us that the Great Sapfish has been stolen, which is basically the whole plot of the single player. The Great Sapfish, which powers the city, has been stolen, and you have to go through this campaign to get it back. Pretty simple plot, not much to it. And then right here, we're just mashing through text that's basically showing us everything around the square, where the online battles are, and where the show is. Oh no, I think boomnoise forgot to turn his switch to airplane mode, because now he's getting... Oh, and he's got the Splatfest announcement too. Whoops. Yeah, so the reason why we speedrun with the airplane mode on is so we don't get that. Because they whether your file is connected to the online Nintendo Switch or not, it will still announce all the stages that are happening. So you have to turn your Switch on airplane mode, so you don't get that, and it saves a bunch of time. So it looks like ThunderFilms is going to be getting the early lead here. He's in the single player now. He just talked to former Squid sister Marie, who's basically giving all the directions throughout the campaign. And right here is our first level on ThunderFilms side. This is level 2. It mostly revolves around these sponges that inflate when you shoot them, and deflate when enemies shoot them. You're gonna see him. You're gonna see both runners throwing bombs at the sponges, because the weapon we're using is they have level 1 hero shot, which is a very slow weapon, and I'll get into why it's so slow in a bit. But you're gonna see both runners throwing bombs to these sponges because it's much faster than shooting the sponges, because that takes more time. Anyway, back to... Sorry, 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. What was I saying? Yes, the hero shot. So the reason why the hero shot is so slow is because the game wanted to emphasize how important upgrades are. So what the developers did is they cut the fire rate of the hero shot by half. So if you've played Splatoon before, you can see that it's much slower than any normal shooter in the game. That's because they really wanted to let you know how important upgrades are. Usually the level 2 hero shot, that fire rate is more like what you would see on a shooter in a normal shooter in the online battles. But unfortunately, because we're playing the game and beating the final boss as fast as possible, we don't really cover enough ground to upgrade weapons. We only get enough orbs and sardinium for about 2 upgrades. And that first upgrade is unlocking curling bombs, which is going to happen by the end of World 2. And then upgrading the hero shot to level 2 right before the final boss in World 5. Because in order to upgrade weapons, we need a certain number of power eggs and also a certain number of sardinium. Both are collectibles in the game. Power eggs can be found anywhere, anytime you shoot an enemy or shoot a box, and they're just kind of scattered throughout the level. They're like, if this was Mario, power eggs are basically coins, or star bits if you're playing Mario Galaxy. But sardinium is a special collectible that's only found once in every level. There's only one in every level, and in every overworld. And also you get one from defeating a boss too. So to unlock curling bombs, which, like I said, that's going to be happening on right before the last level in World 2. And to get that, you need 500 power eggs and 2 sardinium. And since you get one from fighting the boss, which we can get in the World 1 boss, in one of the levels in World 2, we're going to see the players go out of their way to get 1 sardinium, so they can get that upgrade. 116, I think that's like the best time you can get in that level. Well done to ThunderFilms. Very good level. And I guess that kind of leads, that's what I was saying earlier, kind of leads into how the pattern this game is, or I guess how this game is laid out. Basically, there are 5 worlds total. You have to rescue the Zapfish in every level. It's kind of like the power star at the end of the obstacle course, if this is for like Mario. And it's like, once you grab the Zapfish, then you've basically completed that level. And then once you collect all the levels in the immediate world, then the boss for that world is unlocked. And once you defeat the boss, then the next world opens up. So that's kind of how the run is gonna. That's how like the route goes for the run. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see, 118, still a pretty good time from boomnoise. I think he had to. He didn't quite make that the earliest cycle there, so we had to wait for the next cycle. Each cycle is separated by 2 seconds. ThunderFilms is in level 1 here. Nothing really worth noting in this level. It's the very first level, so they're introducing you to the mechanics of Splatoon. I mean, I think a lot of people make jokes like this, but the single player is in a way kind of an extended tutorial to Splatoon 2. It basically just kind of gets you familiar with all the mechanics and the weapons. So it kind of gets you in the movement with transforming in a kid and a squid. So that's basically that's basically the single player in a nutshell, just an extended tutorial. In this first level, there's just not much. You shoot some enemies. You get some keys to unlock the next section. Yada yada yada. 147, not bad. That's a pretty good time. See how boomnoise says, "Oh no, he runs out of ink." All right. So each world has about 6 levels, and then a boss kettle. Except for this world, World 1, it has 3 levels and a boss. I guess because it's the first world, so I guess they don't want to overload you right away. But the rest of the worlds, 2 through 5 have 6 levels and a boss. So right here, ThunderFilms could be heading into the first boss. And what you saw there is he actually entered the fight, restarted, then re-entered the fight. And how that worked, why he did that was because once you super jump from the starting pad onto the arena, a cutscene will start. But if you restart the level just before that cutscene starts, then it will actually trick the game into thinking you've already seen that cutscene. So when you restart and you re-enter the level, then since it thinks you've already seen the cutscene, it will let you skip it. So, and then like I said, you could skip the cutscene. And doing all that is actually much faster than just watching the cutscene, because the cutscene is pretty long. So that's why you're going to see each runner do that at the beginning of every boss fight, except for the last one. Because the last boss fight, the way you enter is a little different. Because the cutscene basically starts as soon as you land on the arena, and that's why you can that's why you can do the restart trick. Because basically you land and then it starts to fade out, and then the cutscene starts. But before it completely fades out, you still have the chance to restart it. Yeah, because when the cutscene does actually start, you can't do anything. You can't restart from there. You can't pause. So that's why you have to pause before the cutscene really starts. Before that fade out. So yeah, it looks like ThunderFilms just finished this boss. I didn't even get a chance to explain this boss. I was too busy talking about the cutscene skip. It's called Octo Oven. It's a very peculiar boss. It's not every game when one of the bosses is a giant toaster oven. You can't say that about many games. So it's definitely an interesting boss to fight. And the reason why ThunderFilms actually waited a few seconds before he grabbed the Zapfish was because every time you complete a boss, you get 50 power eggs, and the 50 power eggs from the first boss are very important to getting 500 eggs to unlock curling bombs by the end of World 2. And if you grab the Zapfish too quickly, you won't get those 50 power eggs. So that's why both runners are gonna wait a few seconds before grabbing the Zapfish, because those 50 eggs that they get are very important. They're not going to do that for all the other bosses because orbs won't be really a priority after they unlock curling bombs. So they're not going to be going for them. Only in the first world and most of the World 2 do they really kind of pay attention and sometimes go out of their way to collect orbs, because they need to get 500 by the last level of World 2. Because the reason why we save that level, we save a particular level for last, because the only way to go really fast in that level is with curling bombs. So we kind of rerouted it out so it was possible to get curling bombs by that level. But to do that, you really have to pay attention to how many orbs you have while you're going through the early game. The only, like I said, the only other upgrade you get is the level 2 Hero Shot, which requires 800 eggs. But we don't really pay attention to how many orbs we get. ThunderFilms have a little trouble getting up there. We don't really pay attention to how many orbs we get for that upgrade because we don't have to get that upgrade until the final boss, and that's like 2.5 worlds. No, sorry, that's like 3 worlds later. And you get power eggs very easily in this game. You don't even have to pay attention to them, and you could still end up with 800 power eggs by that point. So it's not a big deal. Like even if when you're speedrunning, even if you're not paying attention to how many eggs you have, it's still very likely that you'll end up with 800 without even knowing it by the final boss. So that's why they're not going to wait for those 50 power eggs at the end of each boss, because they really don't need to. It looks like ThunderFilms just gonna finish up level 4 here. Having a little trouble. Let's see if boomnoise can do better. So you also might have noticed that our weapons have changed. One thing I really like about the single player in Splatoon 2 is we get to use multiple kinds of weapons in the single player. So you probably, if you played Splatoon 2, you probably noticed that we're now using the roller. We're gonna see that, I believe, we're gonna see the roller one other time in the campaign. But we're basically stuck with a certain weapon in each level after this because Sheldon, like, he wanted data on these weapons or something like that. So he forces us to use a certain type of weapon on almost every single level, except for Octoling levels, which we'll get into later. So yeah, he'll introduce all kinds of new weapons to us, including the Splatling, the Slosher, the Charger. Most of the I guess most of the main type of weapons that you usually see in the online. So one day, okay, I better level 4 from boomnoise there. I'll shorten the gap a little bit. ThunderFilms is on level 8 right now. Has these things called octo-furlers, and oh no! Falling off the stage here. Basically, how these octo-furlers work is they extend when you shoot them and retract when enemies shoot them. And so what ThunderFilms tried to do right there was kind of boost himself. He threw a bomb in front of them because bombs will fully extend the octo-furler. Then he stood on top of the octo-furler to basically kind of get boosted from it. But it's a bit finicky. So if you don't do it right, you can fall off the level, like ThunderFilms did there. But thankfully, he got it the second time. All right, and he's now finishing up the level. Oh, ThunderFilms looks like he's struggling a little bit in this midsection. Alright, so now ThunderFilms is going to be unlocking, I think, the rest of the levels in the world. Unlocking a bunch right here. I'm going to be going into level 5 next, I believe. Level 5 is a pretty cool level, so we get introduced to the dualies, which is a new weapon in Splatoon 2. I mean, it's not really new anymore. The game has been out for 3 years, so wouldn't be fair to really call it new, but it was new to Splatoon 2 at the time it was released, so there's that. But this is a pretty cool level. Anytime when you have the dualies, it's a pretty cool level, because you have the ability to dodge roll. And it evolves from the dodging mechanic actually really opens up to some pretty interesting strats throughout the run whenever you're given the opportunity to use the dualies. So as you can see right here, ThunderFilms is massively taking advantage of the dualies mechanic on these things called grind rails. So normally, you go the same speed whether you're in kid or squid form on these grind rails, but you can actually go faster if you jump and dodge roll. It will slowly kind of inch you up the grind rail a little further. So that's why you're seeing ThunderFilms doing that a lot during this level. Oh, interesting. He's opting not to go for the Sardinium. Okay. So usually we get a Sardinium in this level because it's slightly off to the side, barely takes any time to get it. But it looks like he's not going to be doing that. Sorry, he's not going to be doing that. Interesting. I wonder if he's probably gonna have to get it in a different level since you need 2 Sardinium to get curling bombs. 136, very good time. I'm gonna guess that he's gonna get a Sardinium in level 9, which is the Octoling level. So I think now is the perfect time to get into what the Octoling levels are. There's one in every world except for World 1. And basically, these levels are a little bit different than the regular obstacle course-like levels. So here, these kind of levels, we get thrown into a multiplayer map. This one right here, you can probably tell, it's a map called The Reef. And what we have to do in these levels is we have to collect 8 mini Zapfish that are scattered around the map and avoid being killed by the Octolings, which are the CPU version of other players. Oh, where is he going? Okay. Alright, he's doing good. Alright, so he did not get the Sardinium in this level. It's not too off to the side in this level either. So, okay. I guess, I wonder where he's gonna get the Sardinium from. Maybe level 6? That one's not too far off to the side either. Well, I mean, he probably has to because, after this level, is when you're required. Well, not, I guess not required, but in the route, after this level, you need the 500 eggs and the 2 Sardinium to get the curling bombs, because this is the second to last level, and in the last level you need curling bombs. I mean, I guess it is technically possible to beat level 7, which is the last level, and we're gonna do in this world without curling bombs. It's so much slower. It's a lot faster to use curling bombs in that level, so that's why we made the route so you get it by the time we do that level. So this level that ThunderFilms is doing is level 6. It's where we get introduced to the Charger, which is the equivalent of a sniper. Yeah, it looks like ThunderFilms is going to be getting the Charger here. Oh no! He takes a death! That's the worst place to die, because that was the end of that section, so now he gets thrown all the way back to the beginning of that section. But we're going to shorten the gap a little bit. Boomnoise is just heading into level 6 now. Alright, so it looks like ThunderFilms is going to be opting to get that Sardinium in this level. Which is it's basically right after the jump pad right there. There we go, I was able to get past it this time. But yeah, our 2 runners are getting a little bit closer. A little bit closer in where they're placed. Alright, so now, it's time for probably the biggest skip in the entire game. So here it is. Gotta make sure. Oh, I don't think he has enough. He doesn't have enough orbs. He needs 40 more. Oh no. Alright, looks like he's not gonna have enough. Unfortunate. Oh, will boomnoise have enough? He needs 28 more. Looks like. Let's see. Let's see, is he gonna have enough? It's gonna be close. Alright, 8 more. Oh. Oh, and he got the armor too, okay. Yeah, so boomnoise was able to get enough. ThunderFilms, on the other hand, was not. So we're gonna have to do this level without curling bombs. You know, unless he somehow does really good, it's gonna be a big time loss compared to boomnoise. So this is definitely a chance for boomnoise to catch up. While he does have to go back to World 1 to get curling bombs right now, ThunderFilms is probably going to do that after this level. So they'll probably sync up after once they enter the boss in this world. Because doing this level without curling bombs is a pain. I cannot stress that enough. Going for... Ooh, the squeegee's not gonna... There we go. That's a little boost trick you could do. Sorry, damage boost. Basically, you get crushed from the squeegee in the platform, so you can kind of like nudge your way up onto that platform right there. Alright, yeah, this is definitely an opportunity for boomnoise to catch up, because now he's got curling bombs, and that's going to make this level a lot faster. Especially at the end section here that ThunderFilms is just approaching. Because basically, the reason why it's slower, or sorry, the reason why it's faster with curling bombs is these enemies called squeegees. And those are basically the enemies that you have to... Mostly the objective is you have to ride them to the next section. And the curling bombs are best because they basically make a straight line in front of ink in front of you, so it's much easier to manipulate the squeegees to for you to follow them, or sorry, for them to follow where you need. Sorry, I'm saying this wrong. To get them to where you need to go. That's what I'm trying to say. Because as you can see in boomnoise side, it basically makes like a straight line of ink like that. And I should also mention that the squeegee's behavior is entirely RNG. So we try to manipulate their RNG by using sub-weapons, because they're attracted to sub-weapons. If you throw a bomb out, it will try to follow it. But the problem with the bomb is it will only last for a few seconds before it explodes. Curling bombs, on the other side, will basically last the entire time that they're active. The entire time they're making that straight line. So that's why it's much easier to manipulate the squeegee's RNG, because it'll go in a straight line following that curling bomb. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does. It's a bit hard to explain, but because of the properties of a curling bomb, it's much easier to manipulate the squeegees, is what I'm saying. Alright, so we're both going to be heading into Boss 2. This is Octo Samurai. He's arguably the hardest boss in the game, and it's mostly based on the fact that we have to use the roller. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, this is we're going to see the roller used this time, and for one other level, I believe. And you know, the reason why this is not an easy boss is because we have to use the roller, and it's a pretty slow weapon, especially at level 1. Oh no! Boomnoise taking an unfortunate death there from Octo Samurai. So yeah, like the level, the roller is pretty slow because we basically have to flick ink at this guy like one flick at a time. And this is also a pretty different boss from the others. You don't have to. Usually, how bosses work in this game is you have to like avoid their attacks and wait for a certain attack that will reveal their weak spot, so you can get the and that will end the phase. This boss is a little bit different. Basically, the objective is just like you just have to shoot the boss, and once you shoot a certain amount, that you will go on to the next phase. That's basically how this boss works. And using the roller is not the most efficient way to ink this guy. That's why using either a shooter weapon or I think almost literally any other weapon is faster. Because it's much more efficient at shooting Octo Samurai. I think that makes sense. Yeah, we basically got two Thunders here. Alright, ThunderFilms finishing up Boss 2. I think Uno's going to be going on to the final phase. Yes, final phase of Octo Samurai. Yeah, only the top level commentary you're going to see right here. I'm no Movefish or Badam, but I'll do my best. I'll definitely never be as good as them, but I can certainly try. ThunderFilms can be heading into World 3. Arguably the hardest world in the game. It's usually considered the most consistently hard, because almost every single level is a challenge in of its own. Uno is finishing up Boss 2. ThunderFilms going to be heading into the first level of World 3, level 11. This is a pretty cool level. Get to use the dualies. And it's a level that revolves around these enemies called Tentacooks. And what they do is they hold a key that you need to unlock the jump pad so you can get to the next section. And they basically run away from you. So you have to try to get them as quickly as you can. So you can key and move on to the next section. And so both runners are going to be trying to go for the quickest kills possible to get the keys as soon as they can. And if they mess up like any of them, it loses quite a bit of time because they just like zoom past you, and it can be really difficult to because there's really no backup strats. Oh, very nice. ThunderFilms getting the fence jump right there. That's a pretty precise trick. Well done. And yeah, there's no backup strat. So once you miss it, you're gonna lose a lot of time. If you miss any of the quick kills, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot that you have to try to do right in this level. So ThunderFilms still has a pretty decent lead here. And oh no! What happened there? Oh, I didn't see. I'm lucky he gets to try the section again. I guess the best backup strat actually is just to die and restart the section so you have another chance. That might actually be faster than trying to just chase around the Tentacook for, for a long time. Alright, if you play your cards right and do the fast strats, the key will always be in the same place in that section. It can be pretty confusing because there's like a lot of different Tentacooks, and only one of them has the key. But if you do, if you play it in a certain way, then the guy who has the key will always be in the same place. It's not RNG. I know it seems like RNG, but it actually isn't. I guess there is a very rare time when sometimes the guy with the key won't be there. But that's pretty rare, and if it messes it up, it's usually your fault. Nothing against the runners. But like you see on boomnoise's side, he wasn't able to get it. I think that's because he threw the curling bomb too much to the left. ThunderFilms in level 13 right now. This is where we get introduced to the Splat Lane, which is basically the Gatling gun. It's not really the best for a speedrun, because you basically have to take time charging it up, then shooting. But at least it's a kind of a long-range weapon. I think it's the second longest range weapon in the game, at least the single player. So at least it has that, because if it didn't, this level would be way more harder than it already is. Well, looks like boomnoise having trouble with those octopods there. He broke his armor, and had to play it safe. Getting your armor broken is very crucial in a speedrun, because three things happen. One, if your armor is broken, you are one hit away from dying. Two, you can be seen. You're invisible if you try to hide in ink. So basically, all enemies can see you, even if you're trying to hide. And three, you become very slow. So you walk really slow so far. So getting your armor broken loses a ton of time. So that's why you really have to play it safe. Because, not only are you slow, but you can also die and be sent back to the beginning of the section, which can lose even more time. ThunderFilms still holding up a pretty good lead, but we still got 2.5 worlds left, so we're almost 40 minutes in. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. ThunderFilms in level 15 now, which is the second Octane level. This one takes place on Humpback Pump Track. Definitely a tongue twister if I ever heard one. Humpback Pump Track, Humpback Pump Track, Humpback Pump Track, Humpback Pump Track. Okay, yeah, it's definitely... this level's a little harder than the previous Octane level, because the Octanes now have rollers, which can actually instantly break your armor if you're not careful. And if you get your armor broken, it's very likely for you to die. Because the Octanes just absolutely barrage you. So if something happens, like your armor getting broken, that's like I said, it's very crucial at finishing. Next level is level 12. Level 12 is the bouncy pad level. Right, I would say this is the easiest level in World 3. It's still a bit hard, because it's also kind of a cycle-based level. It doesn't matter too much though. There are some cool mechanics concerning the momentum of how you're using the bounce pads. So basically, if you swim off a ledge and onto the bounce pads, your swimming momentum carries onto the bounce pads and you go faster. Whether if you didn't, you would go slower. Like if you just jump on a bounce pad and try to move somewhere, you'll go very slow. But if you swim off a ledge onto the bounce pads, you'll go faster. So that's why both runners are going to try to use that mechanic whenever they can. Ooh, almost took a death there. Hopefully he almost fell off, but he didn't. $125, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see how boomnoise does. Nice, getting the 2 bounce strat in that section. ThunderFilms going to be heading into level 10 next. So level 10 is a bit of a hard level because there is a sectional cycle in one of the sections that is really important because if you mess it up, you lose, I think it's like 20 seconds. Here we get introduced to the Slosher, which is one of my personal favorite weapons. And also, the Slosher is a pretty decent weapon for a speedrun. It's not too RNG. It's usually a pretty consistent weapon. Like if you're aiming, like, you don't even have to aim precisely. If you just aim in the direction, or in a general direction that you need to aim, you'll probably hit your target. Alright, so the sectional cycle is kind of right here on ThunderFilms' side. This one right here. So he's going to be going as fast as possible to try to make the cycle. Oh no, he should have taken that enemy out! Because he could be annoying. Alright, he missed the cycle, unfortunately. It's basically this Octo Seeker that's rotating around this right here. Alright, so there's a chance for boomnoise to catch up a little bit if he can make the cycle. Alright, boomnoise heading into the level with the cycle in it. Let's see if he gets it. Alright, he's gonna kill the enemy. Good. Sure he aims right. And he gets it. Very nice. Alright, so that might shorten the gap a little bit. Alright, ThunderFilms is going to be heading into level 14 next. This is a pretty difficult level because we have to use the charger, and anytime when we have to use the charger, it's going to be a pretty precise level because the charger is a pretty precise weapon. Because we only have a very small window to hit our target. It is a pretty consistent weapon, you know, you do have to precisely aim, but you know, there's not like a chance that you'll hit your target or something. That, you know, it's pretty consistent that you will hit your target if you aim right. So that is an advantage for the charger, but still, it's a very small window. And I'm guessing that ThunderFilms went for car wash skip and didn't get it. That's unfortunate. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Can he get it? Ooh. Oh, barely got it that time. So yeah, that's kind of a hard trick. It loses a lot of time. I think 20 seconds if you fail it. So that should give a chance for ThunderFilms to catch up. Oh no, he got his armor broken, so he can't go for it. Because it's basically a trick where you have to where you're taking advantage of a damage boost. But since boomnoise didn't fail it, I think he's catching up a little bit. I mean, I can confidently say that it's still anyone's game. Anything could change in the next two worlds. You know, I will be honest and say there has been, like, you know, there's definitely been some matches in the early parts of this tournament where I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this person's gonna win. For this match, I have absolutely no idea who's gonna win. It really could be anybody. So that's why I'm very invested in this match, because it really could be anybody. Both of these players are extremely skilled, have very similar PBs and skill levels. Alright, finishing up with 217, not bad. Yep, boomnoise is just about finishing at level 14 as well. Oh, my homies hate car wash skip. Yeah, it's not the best trick to go for. You know, I don't mind going for it because usually I'm pretty consistent at it when I go for it in my runs. But that's not the same case with some other people. I don't blame them. I used to feel like car wash skipping a lot, and I hated it. You basically just have to like jump into the main columns and just spam the jump button. Some say it's RNG, but I really just think it's usually dependent on how hard you mash. Alright, so now we are in boss 3, which is Octo Stomp. This guy is a bit similar to Oven. Basically, you just have to dodge his attacks and wait until... Well, no, actually, I take that back. He's a little different. At least for the first phase, you have to wait until he does a certain attack and reveals his weak spot. But for the next two phases, we basically have to shoot this buckle on his face. Because right now he's wearing like an uninkable armor. So like what you can't really attack his weak spot until you break that armor. Looks like both players weren't able to get the quick kill. Ooh, did not get the quick kill in phase 3 either, unfortunately. Almost though. Let's see if boomnoise gets it. Alright, it looks like he's not gonna go for it. Maybe he will. Yeah, he's not gonna go for it. That's fine. But hopefully he doesn't, oh no, he has to go an extra cycle. Yeah, that's gonna lose him time. Alright, ThunderFilms is done with World 3 now. Could be heading into World 4 next. I mean, that should be pretty obvious because 4 obviously comes after 3. Everybody knows that. Yo, SpeedGaming, thank you for the raid. Welcome everyone from the SpeedGaming channel. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. This is the Splatoon 2 any percent tournament. We have a match here between ThunderFilms and boomnoise. We're basically racing through the single-player campaign of Splatoon 2. I'm trying to beat the final boss, DJ Octavia, as possible. Right now, I'd say we're about 3/5 the way in. We've still got 2 worlds left. There's 5 worlds total. ThunderFilms now in the first level of World 4, level 17, as boomnoise just arrives in World 4. We have to use the slosher in this level. This is a bit of a cycle-based level, but it doesn't matter too much. It's not a make it or break it kind of cycle level. There's not too much going on in this level, so I don't really have that much to say. There's this guy called Octostomp DX. Or is he called Octostamp DX? These little guys are called Octostamps. They basically charge at you and try to squish you. But we just ignore them. Alright, that was actually a pretty good level from ThunderFilms. Let's see what boomnoise does. $136, okay. I think ThunderFilms got a 135, so pretty good levels from both players. This right now is level 16 on ThunderFilms' side. This is another cycle level. This one is kind of more of a make it or break it cycle level. There's a platform that's going up and down in the middle of this level that I think ThunderFilms is going to try to go for the earliest cycle possible and see if he gets it. And he just barely gets it. Nice job. Let's see if boomnoise gets it. ThunderFilms having trouble climbing up that wall. Oof, just dodging that bowling ball. Let's see if Boomis gets the cycle. Ooh, no, I don't think so. No, unfortunate. Alright, let's go widen the gap a bit. 130, very good time. Well, actually, it could have been... It could have been better. I think he kind of messed up in that end section a little bit. So, it could have been better. But, still good. Definitely better than what I get, that's for sure. Oh no! Took a death in the overworld. Alright. Looks like he's just gonna opt to go the old route. We actually made a recent change to the World 4 route. Where we do, like, I think it's either 20 or 21 first, and then go to 18. The old route was, do 17, 16, then 18, then 21, then 20. But we recently changed it, at least for some of the runners, where we do 17, 16, then 21, then 20, and then 18, I believe. I could be wrong about that. Because I know some people are just kind of doing their own thing. I know I am. I'm doing something different. I use a route that most people don't use, that I personally think is faster. Alright, I didn't even explain the level that boomnoise just did. That was level 21, which is another Octoling level that took place on Moray Towers. ThunderFilms is on level 18 right now, which is, we call it the auto-scroller level, because there's 2 auto-scrollers in the game, and they're both on this level. So, not much going on. Bit of a boring level. It's kind of the time where you just kind of get to sit down and relax a little bit. Nice one, Armac. Very nice. Alright, boomnoise on level 20. This level we get... Oh no! ThunderFilms taking another death on the overworld. Just can't seem to get up there. No, he's having a lot of trouble there. There we go. He's got it. First try. Heading into level 21 now. Boomer is almost done with level 20. The level 20 is the level where you get introduced to the umbrella. And this is the first and only time you're going to see the umbrella in the run. It's basically a shotgun type of weapon. Alright, I think some of the ThunderFilms might allow boomnoise to catch up. I think the routing should sync up by the last level in World 4, which is level 19. So by then we'll see who's in the lead. I think boomnoise actually might be taking the lead, because ThunderFilms still has to do level 20. So boomnoise might have taken the lead. Oh, actually no, boomnoise didn't do a level 18 yet. So actually no, I take that back. He still needs to do 18. boomnoise still needs to do level 18, and ThunderFilms still needs to do level 20. That's right. Alright, so by... but yeah, by the next level, they should sync up. At least route-wise. Or route. Oh, however you want to say it. Depending on how each player does in these levels, will depend on how if they're going to be synced up or not. Because 18 is a longer level than 20. So we'll see how each player does. Usually 18's not a level that... I think it's like that you're the least likely to make mistakes, because half of it is just waiting around. So... It's just long. You just have to really wait most of the time. Well, I think level 20, there's more of a chance to make mistakes. So we'll see how ThunderFilms does in this level. This section's a bit annoying because all the platforms are invisible. But both players have played this game so many times that they have a good idea of where all the platforms are. Alright, it looks like ThunderFilms might still be in the lead. It might be close, though. We'll see by the end of this level, by the next one. Oh no, having trouble on that jump. Oh no. Oh, and with that, I think boomnoise takes the lead. See, did he unlock level 19? I don't think either players have unlocked level 19. No. Alright, so boomnoise takes the lead now. Going into level 19. ThunderFilms about to head into level 19. So this is the longest level in the game, apart from the final boss. That's where it's the first and only time we're going to be using the blaster, which is, in my opinion, the worst weapon in the single player, because it's just absolutely the worst for a speedrun. The movement is terrible. So this level basically it involves you going down 3 different paths to collect 3 different keys to unlock the final section of the stage. Each path has its own little challenge. The first one's pretty easy. The second one involves a lot of enemies and some spinning platforms. And the third pathway has a cycle skip that I'm sure both runners are going to go for. It's a bit hard to explain, but I'll do my best to try to explain what it is. Alright, so basically, there is a switch that he's gonna throw down a bomb to ink the switch. Right there, he's gonna leave that bomb down, and hopefully it will activate the switch. Which, oh no, looks like no. No, unfortunately he missed it. So what he was trying to do there, let's see if ThunderFilms gets it. But what he was trying to do is get that bomb to ink a switch, so he would have enough time to get to another switch to unlock the next section of the level. Because if you miss it, it loses I think 4 or 5 seconds. And I think ThunderFilms got it. Very nice. So yeah, because that other switch is basically spinning in a circle, so you can only shoot at it when it's facing you. Or I'm sorry, I said the wrong way. It's not spinning in a circle; it's rotating. Sorry, that's the correct word. Alright, and here's the reason why we all love level 19. The final section here. Basically, 3 squeegees, and you have to get to the key and then to the jump pad. So, this is kind of why we don't like this stage, because these squeegees are probably the most rebellious. They just almost do not seem to do what you want them to do. So that's why this level can be annoying. Luckily, the blaster is pretty good at manipulating their behavior, since the blast's almost kind of like a sub weapon. So luckily, it's a little easy in that aspect. Alright, right now, both players are going to be heading into boss 4, which is named Octo Shower. This is a bit of a precise boss because we need to use the charger. And you'll see why this is such a precise boss. You basically have to shoot down these octocopters that are holding Octo Shower. And once you shoot all of them down, he reveals his weak spot. And for the next... the first phase is not bad, because Octo Shower will stay in place when you're shooting the octocopters. But the next 2 phases, once you attack one of the octocopters, Octo Shower will actually make an attack where he retreats, then charges at you. And so what both players are going to be doing is they're going to try to shoot 3 of the 4 octocopters. Then shoot them as quickly as possible before Octo Shower retreats, and then shooting down the 4th and final octocopter as he is charging at you. So that's what ThunderFilms is doing right here. Yes, right there. He was able to get the quick kill. ThunderFilms was not able to on the second section, but it looks like he will be getting it in the 3rd phase. Very nice. Let's see if ThunderFilms gets it on the 3rd phase. Alright, he's looking good. Very nice. So yeah, that's not an easy boss. It takes a bit of time to get it right. But I think ThunderFilms got a little bit better of a boss, so he might have catched up a little bit. boomnoise got a 103. I think ThunderFilms did a little better. Yeah, he got a 54. Whoa, that's actually a really good time. Alright, so ThunderFilms looks like he's able to catch up just a little bit. But now it's time for World 5. It's still anybody's game. I think they're about 30 seconds apart, maybe. I'll count who gets into the time that boomnoise gets shot to the next world. 109.51. All right, let's see. Okay, no, they're like 10 seconds apart. Only 10 seconds. So yeah, this is still anybody's game. Anything can happen in World 5. This is home to some of the hardest levels in the game. So, yeah, it's still anybody's game, absolutely. So the first level that both players are going to be heading into is level 23. Actually, I should change use boomnoise's audio now, since he's in the lead. Of course, that could change that immediately, then I'll have to switch back. But, I don't know, there's just like... I don't know, do people usually do that? I know they usually use like the winner's, or sorry, the leader's audio. That's how they usually do races, right? Or maybe people don't do that anymore. Oh no, looks like ThunderFilms fell off that section there. But this is actually my personal favorite level in the game. This is a really cool level. You got the dualies, so you're just dodging left and right on these grind rails. This is basically like the sequel to level 5, and boy of a sequel it is. Right, not too much, just besides a lot of dodge rolling. And also, something that's also worthy to note is both of these players are really big IL runners. Both have a lot of world records in the individual levels in the game. So they both know these levels like really well. Although it's more of an NG plus level rather than an any percent level, which is a little different. Because the NG plus, you basically have all your weapons are upgraded, so you got a better fire rate, a better ink tank. So it is a bit different. But still, both of these players know these levels extremely well. And it looks like back there, ThunderFilms took an unfortunate death, so that puts boomnoise in even further lead, heading into the next level of World of. So I wonder if they're gonna go for the they're gonna go for the fast unlock. Let's see if they get it. Oh no, boomnoise was gonna get it, but you didn't have the right sub weapon on. Oh, that's tough. Oh, he totally would have gotten it too if he was on the right sub weapon. Oh no, he didn't have enough ink that time. All right, let's see if ThunderFilms gets it. Oh, he did not. One of the platforms was in his way. Oh man, I think both of the runners are probably in sync now. It's mostly a race who can unlock this level first. Just throw a bomb. We'll get it. Alright, looks like boomnoise was able to unlock the level now. So now he can super jump to it. At least one of the bombs was able to get over there now. Alright, Bumo is now in level 22. This is, in my personal opinion, the hardest level in the game. There's just so much that can go wrong. There's like so many things that block your way. Alright, ThunderFilms finally able to unlock level 22. Heading into that level right now. Alright. Because of that, the gap is probably a little bit widened. Oh, and also, this is the first and only time we're using the brush, which is... it's an okay weapon. You know, at least it's pretty quick to killing enemies, but it's not really good for movement because it's a very short-range weapon. Because it's only good when, like, you're close-ranged killing enemies. When it comes to long range, you're kind of you're kind of like you're not in a very good place. Alright, both players seem to be doing an okay job so far. Alright, we're just going to be heading into the final section now with these squeegees. We've gotten his armor broken there. Looks like he's playing a little safe and using the Ink Storm to kill those Octo Commanders. Probably a good choice because the Octo Commanders are very annoying! Oh no, he fell off. Didn't quite make it. Oh, this gives ThunderFilms a little chance to catch up. Let's see how, yeah, this ending section can be really annoying. Alright, ThunderFilms heading into that section now. He has a bit of a chance to catch up, but we'll see how the squeegees go for him. Alright, looks like he had a little bit of a better squeegee section. Alright, that should shorten the gap a little bit. Alright, both players going to be heading into level 26 next. This is going to be the last time we'll see the roller. The roller weapon. Oh no, he missed the cycle! What were you doing there? I'm sorry, I couldn't quite understand what he was trying to do there. I know he's obviously trying to get up to that level. But yeah, that was a kind of a weird way to do it. Alright, and ThunderFilms made it there. Oh man. They're getting closer. ThunderFilms is catching up. I'd say it's still anyone's game. We got this level and 3 others left. And the final boss. It might come down to the final boss on who's gonna win. Right, so this level kind of shows the return of the bowling balls. Now they're kind of stacked up on each other. And it's very easy to get knocked off by the bowling balls. because these pathways that we're on are pretty narrow. So if you get hit by a bowling ball, you're most likely to fall off the stage and die. Oh, does ThunderFilms have some trouble? Seems like he's a little bit more behind now. Maybe not, maybe... let me see what time boomnoise finishes with. 1:37, pretty good. Okay, ended at 1:20:21. 1:40. Okay, it looks like he had a little bit more trouble. All right, yeah, it's still like a 10-second difference between each runner. We still got 3 levels left, so the tables can still be turned. So the next level here is level 25. This is the last time we're going to be using the splat lane. This level is called for Madhouse. And you can see that by the section right here that boomnoise is in. You gotta jump from platform to platform while it's moving, while enemies are shooting at him. And also, this section has a cycle in it, so both players are going to be trying to make the fastest cycle. It basically has these platforms that are moving upwards, one at a time. Let's see what cycle boomnoise gets. And also, if you just barely miss a cycle, you also have the risk of dying, because you can like fall through this little gap. That like the cycle is changing. So if you just barely miss a cycle, you have the risk of dying. That's why both players are probably going to be a little careful. Yeah, ThunderFilms didn't make the cycle, but he played it a little safe. Also, his armor is broken, so he had to wait until it got restored. All right, 154, pretty good. Alright, I think boomnoise had a bit of a better level, 25, than Thunder did. Yeah, alright, I think the gap is about 20 seconds now. And we got 2 more levels to go. Next is going to be level 24, which is... 24 is a bit of a doozy. It's got a couple cycles in it that I think both players are going to be attempting to try to skip those cycles as quickly as they can, but it is pretty difficult. Some of the tricks in here are pretty precise. There's some that they might not even go for because they're just too difficult. We'll see if they get them though, or even go for them at all. Alright, Bruno's got the first cycle skip. Very nice. This level can, depending on how... Oh, sorry. This level can very well turn the tides of the race. It's not an easy level. Oh, he's going for the next cycle skip. Can he get it? And he gets it! What a champ. Very nice. Let's see if Thunder is gonna go for it. I think the first cycle skip most people go for, at least most of the top runners go for. The second one is a bit harder. And, oh no, he almost got it. Really close, but unfortunately he didn't. Oh, he didn't even jump that time. That's unfortunate. Alright, boomnoise finishing up level 24 with a 133. Oh, ThunderFilms having a bit of trouble on this section. Alright, boomnoise heading into the final level, level 27, which is the last octane. Of course, she's about done with 24. Oh, Roy's got his armor broken there. That could be dangerous. Ooh, wow, he got very lucky there. Those Octines could have easily broken his armor. Alright, not bad. He got carried by luck a little bit there. But still was able to make it through level. One piece. So it looks like boomnoise used the dualies. ThunderFilms going to be opting to use the slosher instead. The slosher is a bit of a safer weapon to go with. The dualies is kind of a high risk, high reward weapon to use in this stage. Alright, so boomnoise is now heading back to World 1 to upgrade the hero shot. So the main reason why they do this is because we have to use the hero shot for the final boss, where we are required by Sheldon to use it. So it is possible to beat the final boss with the level 1 hero shot. It's really slow though, so it's much faster to go back and upgrade the hero shot. And by this point, we have enough orbs that we can do that. So it's much faster to go back and upgrade the hero shot. Makes the final boss a lot easier. Alright, this race honestly might come down to how good of an Octavio each runner gets. Because Octavio is... he has a bit of RNG. So his fight can vary. So we'll see what both runners get. Yeah, I don't think there's much to say. I will explain how the boss fight works. So basically, DJ Octavio here is gonna throw, um, he's gonna be throwing glowing fist and spinning fist at you, along with some other attacks. You basically, what you have to do is you need to shoot 8 glowing fists, exactly 8, back at him. Once you shoot exactly 8, the phase will end. And it's mostly RNG on whether you get a glowing fist or a spinning fist, or other attacks like a shower attack, or you get a sub-weapon attack, or calamari, which is a type of attack. I know it's also a type of food, but it's also an attack in this game. Alright, looks like boomnoise had decent RNG for the first phase. If you get a shower attack for the first phase, that's not a good sign. Looks like Thunder's not having very good RNG, unfortunately. Yeah, pretty much. Welcome to Splatoon 2 speedrunning. Yeah, I think boomnoise is still in phase 2. ThunderFilms about to head into phase 2. Alright, yeah. ThunderFilms just started phase 2. boomnoise is just finishing up and going into 3. I'm mostly gonna try to stay quiet because the music in this boss fight is pretty cool. Alright, ThunderFilm's gonna be going into phase 3 now. I really think once you know how this boss works, it just kind of speaks for itself. Alright, looks like boomnoise is going to be heading into the final phase. The final phase is usually pretty consistent, doesn't vary by RNG by that much. So unless boomnoise messes up a lot in phase 4, we might have our winner here. Alright, ThunderFilms heading into the final phase now. This last phase is pretty cool. You get the Rainmaker, and then have to shoot 8 glowing fists back at Octavio. I'd say cinematically it's pretty cool. Gameplay-wise, it's a bit mediocre. It's definitely not as good as the Octavio from Splatoon 1. Alright, time is going to end once he dunks the Rainmaker Octavio right. Dude. You're just going to keep your timer running? W's in the chat. There we go. Wow. You took a bit of a risk there, buddy. But, yes. Alas, boomnoise is our winner for this match. Well done, boomnoise. GG. It looks like ThunderFilms is just about to end his run. Alright, I think that was a 42. Alright, so we had about a 30-second difference. This was definitely our closest match yet. Let me see if both the winners want to go in for an interview.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, ThunderFilms?
That was a mess.
It was kind of the same on both sides.
Yeah, there was a lot of problems.
Yeah, so about a 30-second difference. That was actually a pretty cool match to watch. It actually really went back and forth throughout the run.
Yeah.
Because the start, I think you got the lead for the first half because boomnoise forgot to turn his switch on airplane mode, so we had all the cutscenes at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I believe he took the lead. I think it was about by the end of World 4, because it seems like he had a bit of trouble in the overworld.
Yeah.
In World 4. So yeah, do you have anything you would like to say to the audience?
I mean, this is definitely not peak Splatoon, so
Hello.
hello. Congratulations.
GG's.
Yeah, but I definitely say,
GG's, bro.
hey, boomnoise, congrats! You are the winner of this match. It was about a 30-second difference.
Nice.
Yeah, so that we were talking about how that run kind of went back and forth.
Yeah, it did. Definitely did.
Yeah, started with ThunderFilms in the lead for, I'd say, the first 3 worlds, and then in World 4, that's when the tables kind of turned. And then you guys were actually were pretty much in sync by the time of unlocking level 22, because it seemed like both of you had some struggles there. So that was probably the only time when you both were in the exact same place. But after that, boomnoise, you took the lead and was able to maintain it for the rest of the run.
Yeah, I was kind of scared going into Octavio, because I saw my lead. It was only like, I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds going in, so I knew I could lose that really easily. But I got it. I thought I was gonna get double tower phase 3.
Imagine losing to RNG. That would be sad.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if Thunder won because of Octavio.
Yeah, that could have happened.
So yeah, do you guys have anything else you want to say before we end the stream?
No, not really. Just GG.
All right, GG's. So thank you guys both for participating in this. Let's actually take a look at the bracket right now. So let's see, boomnoise, you'll be moving on to the semifinals. Thunder, you are going to be facing El Phantom next.
Nice.
So yeah, I think the next match will probably be either that match or myself versus Banana Beards. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be it.
All right.
Thank you, both of you runners, for participating in the tournament. Thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting and streaming this tournament. They're amazing people. They run an amazing community, so big thanks to them. And big thanks to the Splatoon 2 community. All right. That's going to be it. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.
See you.